How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install Zippy spacers and handle inlays in your BRS E-volve hex Balisong trainer. You can see I've already installed the inlays and the extension spacer on the safe handle, so let's go ahead and do the bite handle together. To begin with, I'll install the handle inlays, and I'm just going to align the inlay with the narrow side towards the pivot and the wider side towards the end of the handle. You can see there's going to be this hollow side, which I'm going to face into the Balisong. And then I'm just going to pop in one corner, pop in the other corner, and then I'm going to smooth out the sides. You can see I'm using my fingernail to push in the inlay at the edges. And I'm gonna go through and make sure that everything is pressed in. I'm attacking all the corners right now, just pushing in the inlay. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side. Just pushing it in with my thumb and then making sure that the corners and edges are all seated properly. If you purchase the holographic finish, what you're going to want to do is take a cloth and just give it a rub down now, because finger oil will interfere with the light diffraction on the holographic finish. So you'll just want to clear off any oil from your fingers, and the handle inlays are installed. Let's move on to the spacer. I'm going to take a T8 and I'm going to unscrew the Zen pin screws. I found that the Zen pin screws are slightly different than the spacer screws, so I'm going to keep them separate. And I'm only going to unscrew from one side. All right, last screw here with our T8. All right, let's take our T10 and unscrew the pivot. We'll remove that. And now we can just remove the handle slab. You might find that it's stuck, and so you'll need to use something to lever it out. In this case, I'm using this sacrificial piece of plastic, and I'm just gonna twist it and just kind of slowly wiggle the handles off. Right now, there's just some friction with the pivots and the handle will come right off. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the stock spacer. And I just want to show you the weight difference here. Each stock spacer weighs 0.187 ounces, and each Zippy spacer weighs 0.049 empty, 0.071 with one weight, 0.092 ounces with two weights, and it can weigh up to 0.113 ounces with all three weights installed. So you can actually reduce the handle bias by running no weights, and if you want to increase the momentum, you can install all the weights, and it does increase the momentum, particularly when you're using this lowermost weight, because it's further from the pivot, so it increases the leverage. So I'm just going to show you how to install it. Just pushing it in with the tip of a clicky pin, and we'll install the other two just to show you how it's done. You'll know if it's the correct hole for the ball weights, because the ball weight hole is slightly larger than the sex bolt hole, and those will just pop right in. And if you want to remove them, you can just use some pointy object and they'll pop right out. And then to remove the bottommost one, you can pop it in or out from either side. So I'm just gonna lever it out here. All right, I'm gonna install this without any weights. That's how I have the other one configured. So with the blade oriented like this, I'm gonna push the spacer on. Just like that. And now we'll add the handle inlay. And I'm just gonna push it on, it's gonna snap on. All right, let's begin by tightening the pivot. And we'll screw in the Zen pin. All right, now let's screw in the spacers here. I'm just gonna get them in here and I'm not gonna fully tighten them down yet. Just gonna make sure both are threaded. All right, and now I'm just gonna screw these in, kind of alternating, giving each one, you know, quarter turn, half a turn, until I feel a medium resistance. You wanna take it slow, you do not wanna strip the screws. T8 is kind of prone to stripping. And once it starts getting hard, just take a pause, and we're gonna put in the stock spacer and just make sure that the stock spacer still fits in there. If the stock spacer does not fit in, you've screwed in too much, and you can just back it off. But if the stock spacer fits and you're finding the screws are difficult to keep screwing in, stop there. You've just successfully installed the Zippy spacers on your BRS hex Balisong trainer. These extensions make the handles a bit longer, and they also protect the soft aluminum from drops. I think it's more fun ergonomic for flipping, and you can adjust the balance however you want by adding or removing those tungsten weights. All right, thanks for watching, guys.